Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Real Talk Roundtable here from the Take Your Life Back and More program. So I'm Dr. Leslie, a therapist, as you all know, because it's not open to the public. The podcast isn't open to the public yet. So just sending it out to our newsletter fans and our past clients and clients to be. Some of the clients to be are getting this. So just if any materials kind of spark a an interest, put your some comments down below and or call on the website. Call through the website. You can get a hold of us, and I'll set you up with a free consultation. So how's that? All right. So I got my co-facilitators or co-podcast host here with me. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Chelsea.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
I don't remember what else we say for introductions, honestly.
Well,
I've been doing therapy for 3 years.
uh,
She's recording it right now, Chelsea.
Oh, I know.
yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. What have you got to say, Jamie?
I've been in therapy for as long as I can remember at this point. it's it's pulling together most recently though, the last few months.
All right, so these gals are being shy, and let me tell you, they've been to all of my programs, the Take Your Life Back and More program, the master class, and now I have a master maintenance class. And so they've committed to their own healing, and they're here because they're part of the announcements of success. Okay, just kind of going into our topic for the day. So the idea for a topic today, I said I wasn't going to, but I am going to. I couldn't come up with it, so I pulled a tarot card, and it was the world. Okay, and the whole idea of looking at things from that world perspective with you in the middle is sometimes when we're just the only I guess the only play in this scenario, we get stuck and perseverate on different things that we could have done or we wanted to do or we what we can't do or things in the future, fears and things like that. So this is a strategy on how you can widen your scope of thought. I think it's more like a mindset. Okay. So a mindset, you are this person in the middle, and the world actually wouldn't operate the same without you. So it's interconnection between everything in the world. I'm going to start the discussion by asking a question that we can all answer. What does wholeness mean to you in this season of your life? What does wholeness mean to you in this season of your life? I think I can go first, and then we'll spin that around here. I didn't do that dancing one first, but I'll do that next. Um, so when I think about what wholeness is to me, I am gonna wake up to the most awake individual I can be today. It's not always 100%, but it has elements and ways in which I could get to a 100%, maybe not today, but tomorrow, right? And that means that I have some kind of balance in my life, that I don't forget how far I have come in my life and on my healing journey. I truly don't know that I would be here today had I not began that healing journey. So it's very black and white. I decided to do the healing journey. I live. If I had not, I would have not made it. So that makes me get up every day and do life. Now, how do I make it whole? I need a lot of stimulation. I need adventure. I need something to stimulate my mind. I need people in my life that challenge me. Okay. So, having pieces of that, I can get relatively happy almost every day. But having all of it, is where I get more whole and more awake. The more awake I am, the more whole I get, I think. Um, I could go on and on about this, but I'm gonna pass it on to whoever wants to go next. My ladies. Not my ladies, your ladies.
I'm my own lady. I feel like, I mean, it's a really interesting question just because of like the circumstances of my life right now. To share with our listeners, I was laid off last Monday. And as I've always been really career focused and really like job focused. So this is really my first time in my life that I haven't been employed, since I started working. Um, so when I think about like what does wholeness mean to me in this season of my life, it it's kind of exploring what my life is when I'm not necessarily like defined by or attached to a job. Um, and that's really scary because I've so much of my identity has always been attached to my job. So I'm really grateful that I now have the opportunity to actually like have a little breathing room. Like I've never had breathing room before. Like every career pivot or job jump that I've ever made has always been like continuously out of survival. And this is the first time I'm not like having to get a job like tomorrow kind of a thing. I'm like, wow, look at me. It's so nice. So I think that the wholeness for me kind of looks like what coming back to center looks like and kind of reconnecting with both myself and like people around me. Um, yeah, because I've never really been able to actually think about it before. So that's a piece of it. I'm sure more will come, but
Yeah.
that's a piece of it.
First off, Chelsea, unemployment is so freeing. So I hope that it continues to be a positive experience for you as much as it can be because it's also kind of stressful. But I always have the most fun when I'm unemployed. So I think for me, the wholeness, I think um, comes from a place like I feel whole when I'm not like really worried about a bunch of stuff and I can just like kind of focus on being in the moment. So that really sums it up for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it hasn't always been that. I mean, I like that too, Jamie. It hasn't always been that way though for me, that I could just get to that moment and the more I guess the more time I spend um, you know, in my own development, I guess, I can get there faster. But getting back to that place in the moment.
Yeah. I kind of piggybacking off of that, I think it definitely like since it happened on Monday, I've really just been focused on regulating. I was like, oh my God, I can like sleep in, I can go to bed early, I don't need to doom scroll because I'm stressed out from work. Like all of the avoidant behaviors that I had as like aversions to the job that I apparently didn't like very much. Um, Coming back to like a sense of like groundedness, I think is what it is. So that way, sorry, I have cat TV on for my cat. Um, so she doesn't attack
My
me.
cat watches her shows too.
Yeah, but sometimes there's, whatever. Um, but yeah, so coming back to a sense of groundedness and then just like recalibrating like what that balance is, because I think that I do have a tendency to get very much one way or very much the other way. And like balance has always been something that has been on my mind, but that I've been working towards, but I haven't always like, it's always been just like slightly out of my grasp. So I think that the wholeness comes from the sense of balance. And then as it relates to like the season of my life, it's like, great, how do I kind of set up what I need in my life and then have a job be a part of that, as opposed to like having the job be everything and then trying to fit in myself around this job that's never been stressed out about me. You know what I mean? So wholeness is a sense of like groundedness and balance, I think, which is
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that what that may triggers in me is that right now I knew that I have a maybe a slight rebranding going on with my business. I know that there's a need to have a change, and that change is going to involve some in-person kind of work and more creativity. Yet there was a step that I felt like it's almost like that same thing where I had to engage my personal community and my personal needs and passions before I could come back to before I go back to that rebranding. It makes so much sense because it's kind of because that is something, and I guess a shift that's taking place in my life, a settling in. I've been a nomad forever, and having a place that I want to settle in and figuring that out it is part of the rebranding. It's just it's coming from a different place because it was before it was about all about my work community and not about my filling that personal place too. So it seems
Yeah.
right on the same track as yours. So going in a little bit another perspective to look at, if you looked at if your journey were a dance, okay, what style would it be? Slow and intentional, wild and free, unchoreographed or a combination of all of them? Or and what does that say about where you are now?
I
Okay,
immediately
I
think
have
of it
one.
as go, Jamie, go. I won't forget mine. Go.
Okay. So right now in this very moment, and I feel like this changes like from season to season. I feel right now that my dance in the middle of the wreath is like one of those songs that tells you like one step in or two steps this time and clap your hands. And I'm just like in the middle trying to keep up with everything is kind of how I feel right because like I can't do those dances and like so but like I try and I'm just like bumping into people and all that kind of thing. That's my middle of the world dance right
Yeah.
Fuck those steps, Jamie. You don't need their steps, bro. You don't need their steps. Um, Love that. I so what immediately came to mind was Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Has anyone seen that? Okay, so when her character gets introduced, really like properly introduced, like where she's center stage, the dance that she does is very like first of all, it's just her, but she's bringing people together and it's a very intuitive dance. And she has a tambourine and she looks great and she's free flowing and she very much trusts herself. And the whole like dance that she did was at what was it? The Festival of Fools or something, where everybody was just like themselves. Like that was the whole point of that crazy ass festival in like early century France where everyone was like prim and proper and they're like we're going to be idiots today and she's just in the middle like guiding and doing it and then there's a section where she like fights somebody and like stands up for justice and I'm like she's the shit. So something like that, intuitive gathering, still the center if I'm honest, but not in the sense of like having it be for me but more so having it bringing people together, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Esmeralda,
I
now. I
queen.
love it.
I really like her.
Me too.
I feel like I've got two dances going on at the same time. I'm not sure if I'm in between or I'm a combination of both and trying to integrate. So the wild and free, it's like I can't do anything. It feels like anyway. It's probably not true, but because when you say I can't do anything, it sounds like, I'm forced into this box and I'm not. I don't feel forced into a box, but but it feels like that I always have to put everything I do, every step I make through the wild and free filter. Everything has to feel like I'm doing it from that place, or I have a part of that place with me. Um, or I feel restricted in some way. And I know that I have a somewhat of a, I don't know if it's an obsession of a piece of the person I was, back in the old days when I didn't have any rules or regulations holding me in a certain way, and I wasn't always I didn't always make good decisions, but there's a part of me that likes having that power that I thought I had. I don't know how to explain it better than that. But then there's this other desire, and I think I have a little bit of it. It's just comes out in a different yeah, I guess the wild and free has the leather jacket on, and hanging with the hood, and I'm seen as yeah, strength, and tough, and don't fuck with me kind of thing. And then this other part of me is the ballet dancer, okay, that has a sense of knowing everything in my path and bringing things from my past into the present, but yet knowing which is my next move, and being in that all-knowing place. And just a, and I don't know if it's like from our topic, like the thinking about my accomplishments as much as how maybe the transformation feels like it's gone from not rag to riches, but from street girl to, you know, business owner, and joy filled life, more simple, and still knowledgeable and artistic and um, beautiful. I love thinking about it like a dancer. I used to have dreams of being a dancer like all the time. I did. So I like thinking about that.
What's so interesting is that the common thread between both of those dancers is just freedom. It's like one is like a rebellious freedom where like I can protect myself, and then the other one is like there's a sense of trust, I feel like, in with the ballerina that there wasn't with the leather jacket girl.
Yeah, it's cool. Thank you for the feedback. It's really yeah, it's really the integration. The integration is where I'm at. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the integration.
Like a sense of wholeness. Oh,
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 duh,
oh.
oh, yeah. It's the with early healing. It was always a yin yang, image, and a yin yang. So it still has the same, same kind of thing. But yeah, I'll explore that a little more. I love it. Um, and yeah, of course, my freedom tattoo. I'll show that off right now since that word was there. Yeah. Let's see. Any more thoughts about the dancer? Let's bring it home with another question here. And whatever you're thinking or what's ever coming up for you, give us some comments, or just however you got the link, the YouTube link. You could just um hit the reply button and say what you thought. Okay. So the world, blah blah blah. The world represents both an ending and a new beginning. What are you closing out in your life right now? How do you honor and celebrate the journey that brought you here before stepping into your next chapter, your life phase? So that's kind of a dual question, but you know, what are you closing out? And then how do you honor that or celebrate that journey? And before you're able to step into that new phase.
Maybe this is what I need to do to get my life back on track is honor the end of my last journey. um yeah, so we just moved to Minnesota, and we are living in our travel trailer, and it's a real blast. And so I feel like I've been on vacation for like weeks, and I'm just like desperate to go home.
Oh.
But it's okay. Um, I think that um, maybe it would help me to figure out like kind of what I was supposed to learn in the last season of my life, and kind of celebrate the accomplishments that I made in the last season of my life. Because I really feel like getting here is kind of like I feel at home here. And I'm really excited for everything to just kind of settle in and that kind of thing. Um, but I do feel like there's some kind of like tie keeping me to San Angelo for whatever reason right now. And maybe that's why things aren't moving forward the way that I want them to. So I think I'm going to make that my goal in the next couple days to kind of like really reflect on that, and maybe like do some journaling or some art and that kind of thing. Because I definitely feel like some kind of like attachment still. And I want to let go of it. I want to honor it and let go of it and start this new cool thing that I know is like right around the corner. There's too many bad things happening for it to not be the best shit I have ever experienced in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
and you brought up something, the journal prompts. So I've got some journal prompts for the topic. So, and I'm going to put them in the body of the YouTube. So when you look down below and you find those, you can work on these little
Awesome.
this process. Yeah,
I'll be commenting.
good, good.
I feel that, Jamie. I feel like I'm also very much at a point where I want to like without detach in a way that's not like a 17-year-old breakup vibe, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I hate him. I'm never talking to him again. Yeah. Like I don't want it to be like
Exactly.
that because this is also like a big chunk of my life that I dedicated for the like that's the whole reason I moved here was this job. Um, so I feel like, hold on, let me pull that question back up. Ooh, it was right, right. So I feel like I'm closing out right now. I feel like I'm closing out a belief system, honestly. Um, I've in I mean, I've definitely been doing a lot of like therapy and journaling in the time that I've had this job, but especially now that I don't have this job, the perspective that I've gained, even in the first 24 hours, was absolutely wild. And it feels like I'm shifting from, this belief system where it's like, for me to make money, it has to be really hard. And for me to be successful, you're supposed to really, really struggle. And it doesn't mean that those things aren't true, but I just can no longer subscribe to feeling like I'm supposed to be struggling every fucking day for 5 years. That's actually just toxic. And yeah, so it feels like I'm trying to close out the chapter on really what kept me going in this kind of environment for so long. Because I've been in, high pressure, high volume, high pace sales environments since I was in college. Um, and I spent 8 years at agency. And the only reason I did that was because I was like, these are going to give me skills that'll give me space to do things that I want to do and like explore things that I want to explore and things that like really align with who I am. And after 8 years in agency, I'm like, yeah, it's time. I can't do this anymore. So, to kind of honor and celebrate that journey, like I've been really lucky that I've connected with so many good people. I think that that's been one way that I've been able to like honor and celebrate that, or is that I've even though it was really hard, this job, my intention and, what I really wanted to bring to the people that I worked with, like that was always at the forefront of it. And I've been really grateful to see that kind of love reciprocated as I like make my exit from this role. And so now I've got like all these incredible people that are doing different shit because I was just a part of their journey. And I think the other way that I'm honoring and celebrating that journey as opposed to just like trying to be angry about it, which it's come up. I've been angry. Um, but I think just actually like doing a reflection piece on it for not just, what needs to look different about the next job, but like what did I really love about this job? What aspects did really light me up? What aspects do I want to see in my next one? And what needs to be different in terms of keeping me whole? Because as much as I tried, I don't think that the environment that I was in was ever going to let me be a whole because I needed more time. I needed more time and energy than that job, that I let myself have in the job, really. So, yeah.
I
So
want to
taking my
I want to share the visuals I got when you were talking. I don't know. I mean, take it
Mhm.
or leave it or whatever. But what I saw is a pool of self-doubt and not good enough water, and going from there to a waterfall. Okay. And how water just comes down slowly and washes you over, and then then you have something new. Not an, I didn't see the new. I just saw those two water images when you were talking.
transition.
Yeah. Because it's that belief, you said that belief thing, and it
Yeah.
just was just this over and over constant, you know, judgment, where the not good enough pool was, it's over. You can drain the tub or something, you know what I mean?
Sorry.
Yeah, drain that tub.
Pump it out.
Fuck. Yeah.
And then
Sorry. I don't know what's wearing on this thing.
yeah, then Jamie, when you were speaking, I was just speaking, I was thinking of my time in San Angelo and how I never even got a friend, one friend. Not I'm not no friends, but in the term, the richness of places that I've been before and where I am now, a multitude of friends, and I just could I thought it was me, but it was a really good place for me to get kind of a, it was kind of abandoned ship. you know, I fell into a like I pulled up in a boat and got stuck in the sand and got out and looked around,
Absolutely.
and here I was, right? And nowhere
Right.
near anything. Nowhere near anything. Okay. But
On
that's
an island.
with that focus, I got the starting of my business, the breakthrough that I needed to feel alive and in touch with the passions I have in my life, and I never would have had that if it was so stimulated with all of what's going on right now with new friends and fitting in and all those other kinds of things that you do when you first meet people and break into a group and stuff. But it would have been distracting. So I can see how much I needed that time there anyway. Yeah. All right. So let me answer that question too. But yeah, thank you too for giving me that stuff to think about. Oh, what I wanted to honor you, Chelsea, to I want to honor, okay, the path, the decisions that you made to exit, the exit, not to jump into another job and get into the panic of needing another job, and how you're honoring yourself right now. So I just wanted to honor that process, because I actually did that when I left the government, and what a difference. I had no
Feels
idea.
like I left a government.
Yeah. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was such a different person right now, than I was then. And it needed that time. I needed that time to breathe. So
Yeah, that's how
I
it
want to
feels.
honor that. Yeah.
It's only been a week. That's what I keep reminding myself is like, I literally was like fighting myself on day 3. It was like, you got to do this, you got to do this. And I was like, you don't actually. It's been 3 days. Like, relax. Jesus.
I jumped into some
Oh,
PRN work there at some point just to feel like I had the money coming in. It wasn't a lot big commitment. It was PRN. I could say yes or no, if they called me. So I feel
mm,
like I did a little bit, but
Yeah, PRN, yeah.
Other than that, I spent a month in Europe. Relaxed. I didn't have to jump. I didn't have to jump. And so first time in my life, I didn't have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good.
honor that time. Um, I guess how I didn't think about the question for myself, but how do you honor and celebrate the journey that brought you here before stepping in? How do I want to? I'm gonna actually need to probably sit down and do some kind of a piece on it, either writing or art. But
Can we all do this and then like
and
recap with each other at some point?
I
I
think that
literally
would
bought a
be
new journal
good
today.
because it definitely needs definitely needs it needs something there to give it some honor for sure. Um, yeah, yeah,
We can have
I
a
like what's come
ceremony.
up for me for the yeah some kind of ceremony. Okay, we can always tag it too again. We could always do it on video and add it to our YouTube. I think that's wonderful. That's a really good
Mhm.
idea. Okay, and I hope you all, I'm hoping that this will be the end of this segment and we pull in the one right after. And thank you for tuning in to us. And this will be, I don't know how often we'll do it. When we feel like doing another podcast episode, we'll do another podcast episode. We're all into freedom
Yeah.
right
When
now.
we feel like it,
Yeah,
viewers.
Yeah.
yeah.
Leslie, you are also the only employed one, so we have time.
That's true. We
Yeah.
do have a little
But
time.
you know how I like to do podcasts. It does enrich my practice, and it enriches me as a practitioner too. So yeah. So all right.
Sweet.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Bye bye.